it's Alexis, and I figured that we could just spend the day together today. But obviously we're gonna make it bookish. So I have not been to the bookstore at all this year, so I figured that we could do a little bit of book shopping. We're gonna go to Half Price Books and Barnes & Noble because I have a specific list of books that I'm looking for. And then we're gonna do some little free libraries. If you can't tell, I brought the box of books. And what else are we gonna do? I'm gonna have to reorganize my shelves because they're already looking a mess, even though I just reorganized them. So that's gonna be interesting because I gotta have a new spot for all these books, and I just have random books laying all over the shelves. And we're probably gonna read a book in this video because I want to read today, so we're probably gonna do that. And I guess we'll just see what else the day brings us. So just come along with me, let's have some fun, and we'll do some bookish things, and it'll just be a great day. So let's have some fun together, shall we? We're at the first library, and I'm gonna try to fit these books in there. Let's see what will happen. Can you hear that? This could use some organization. If I had more time, I would do it.
You don't want to put the spines out?
Well, I mean, no, the other ones are.
Set a good example.
Interesting. Edgar Allan Poe. That's in a different language. And I think that's Spanish. Mina speaks Spanish. And that one just has to go there. So there are lights in here. I saw it on the other photo that it lights up at night. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we didn't take anything, but we left 6 books, so let's go to the next one. We're at the second library, and when we were driving past it, it looks really full, but I'm going to attempt to put these 2 books in there. So let's go see what we can find and see if these will even fit in there. Yeah, see, it's really full in here. It's very, very nicely organized though. It's very wobbly. We're just gonna stick those like that. This one's very well organized, very nice, a little wobbly, but otherwise I would probably give this one like a 9 out of 10. Let's go find another one. Okay, we are at the next library and we're gonna try to fit these 4 books into it. Let's go. It's like in the middle of this dirt field. Oh, there's some good books in here. I almost bought this a couple months ago, so I think I'll take it. Oh, I have this one. Christmas book. I've heard mixed reviews on this one, so maybe I should get it and read it since it's free. Okay, let's try to put 2 books back up here where I took them. This was a little wobbly. And then, what's down here? The Lost Apothecary. That's the one I was talking about that one time when I found the other book by that author. Ooh, The 12 Dates of Christmas. I've heard this one's good. I'll take that for this Christmas. And we'll just put these 2 down here. So this one is really wobbly. It needs a little bit of a fix up. But other than that, I want to give this one a 10 out of 10. I was not expecting to find anything and I found 3 books. That's awesome. Let's go to the next one. The next one that we're at is actually at a suicide prevention center, and it looks like there's 2 libraries here. So I'm going to try to take the rest of the books and try to divide them up between the 2 libraries, but we'll see what we can fit. I don't know what else is going to fit in here, but this one's all kids' books.
Put your Harry Potter one in there then.
Well, these are technically young adult too, so I can put these in here.
Good.
I just don't know if there's actually space for them.
Could stack them.
Yeah. That doesn't work. I really don't want to stack them like this, but it's the only way they fit. Okay. Really got this one. Alright, that's the rest of the books. The box is now empty in the car, and this library is now fully stocked. So now we're gonna go home and I'm going to do a little bit of a haul and a bookshelf reorganization. Let's go. Okay, let's do the haul portion of this video. So there's gonna be 3 different piles. I don't know why I put up 6 fingers. There's gonna be 3 different piles. So we have stuff I got at Barnes & Noble, stuff that me and my husband got at Half Price Books, and then the 3 books I found in a little free library today. So let's do Barnes & Noble first. So I went in with an idea, like a list of books I wanted to get. There was one book that I was like so excited for that I wanted so bad. And my store didn't have it, so I'm gonna have to order it online, but it's Voice of the Ocean by Kelsey and Peach K. Kelsey and Peach K is one of my favorite YouTubers, and she wrote a young adult book about a siren, and it's basically like a retelling of The Little Mermaid, and I'm so excited for it. But unfortunately, like I said, my Barnes didn't have one today, so I couldn't get it. So I'm gonna order it, and it should be here in like a week or something. But let's talk about the rest of the books that I got today. So I got Spy Family Volume 2 because I just read the first one and it like left off on a cliffhanger, so I had to buy the second one like as soon as I could. So I'm really excited for this one. Next, I picked up Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man. I started Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers this past week. That book is so funny. So I really wanted to get this one as soon as I could, because as soon as I finish that one, I know I'm going to start this one. Next, I picked up My Best Friend's Honeymoon by Meryl Wolsner. This one's actually out a couple days early. I'm pretty sure this releases on April 28th, and I picked it up on the 26th. I feel kind of bad about that now that I think about it, actually. But it was there. There was a lot of copies of it, so I picked one up. This one says, sometimes to find a happily ever after, you just have to ask. Elsie Hoffman has been engaged to her college boyfriend for 1.5 years. Jenny Holtz has been in love with Elsie for almost 1.5 decades. When Elsie discovers her fiance already planned their wedding and honeymoon as a surprise, and she's expected to be in a white dress in 7 days, she swiftly realizes she's let herself become too comfortable with a future that she never wanted. She breaks things off, and a week later is on a plane to the Caribbean for her non-refundable honeymoon with her best friend Ginny instead. Ginny thinks it's high time Elsie learns how to speak up for herself, so they make a deal with her. For the next week, Elsie can have whatever she wants, wherever, however, and whenever she wants it, as long as she asks for it. They never expected Elsie to want them. What starts as choosing activities and taking selfies soon turns to toe-curling kisses and much, much more. But what happens when the honeymoon is over? So this one just sounds like it's going to be a good time. Then we picked up one that I'm super excited for. I didn't even know this thing was coming out until I saw somebody on Goodreads reading it, and I was like, that's a real book, I have to buy it. So this came out, I think, last week. But I picked up Murder by Cheesecake by Rachel Exton Courage. This is a Golden Girls cozy mystery book. When I was 3 years old, I was obsessed with the Golden Girls, and like, I've loved it my whole life, basically. But you should have seen me as a little kid, like obsessed with this show. So when I saw this was coming out, I had to buy it. It says, things are heating up, and it's not just one of Blanche's hot flashes. With Rose hosting her cousin's wedding in Miami, if she can't pull off the traditional St. Olaf wedding customs, her hometown may never accept her cousin back again. Wanting a witty conversation for the sure-to-be strange event, Dorothy tries this newfangled VHS dating service she's heard all about. Unfortunately, what appeared to be the ideal man on tape turns out to be a jerk in real life. Set to enjoy the wedding in the company of Sophia, Blanche, and whomever Blanche targets with her feminine wiles, Dorothy pitches in to help the increasingly frantic Rose plan the event. Despite tensions between the two wedding families and certain St. Olafins, I think is how you say that, mistrust of the big city, the opening tea is going perfectly, not a herring out of place. That is, until Dorothy's date is found dead, face planted in an otherwise scrumptious-looking cheesecake. With every guest a suspect and a marriage on the line, it's up to the Golden Girls to sleuth out the real killer and ensure love, humor, and friendship win the day. It sounds really good. I'm pretty sure that like this is the start of a series, so that makes me really happy. I hope I like this as much as I think I'm going to. Next, I picked up Enchantra, I think so I say it, by Kaylee Smith. This is book 2, and I don't know what the series is called, but this is book 2 of Phantasma. And then I picked up Scythe and Sparrow by Bren Weaver, which is book 3 in, what is this one called? The Ruinous Love Trilogy. I'm almost done with Butcher and Blackbird, and I'm so excited to jump into the next 2, so I went ahead and bought the 3rd one today. And then I picked up The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I've not read anything by this author, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, so I went ahead and picked it up today. It says, London-based Georgia Carter, professional lie detector and body language savant, has long been estranged from her infuriating, close-minded, wealthy South Carolina family. After a falling out years ago, the chasm runs deep between the black sheep, Georgia and her gay alcoholic brother, and their parents and elder siblings. But when their father dies suddenly, Georgia returns to the States for the funeral, where she comes face to face with Sam Penny, her brother's AA sponsor. That sounds really interesting. And the last book that I got at Barnes & Noble was obviously Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. It's her new book coming out this year. I have to get it. I didn't even realize that. Look at the end pages. That's so cute. Anyway, this says, Alice Scott is an internal optimist still dreaming of her big writing break. Hayden Anderson is a Pulitzer Prize winning human thundercloud, and they're both on balmy little Crescent Island for the same reason, to write the biography of a woman no one else has seen in years, or at least to meet with the, what is this word? The octogenarian? Or at least to meet with the octogenarian who claims to be the Margaret Ives, tragic heiress, former tabloid princess, and daughter of one of the most storied and scandalous families of the 20th century. When Margaret invites them both for a 1-month trial period, after which she'll choose the person who will tell her story, there were 3 things keeping Alice's head in the game. 1, Alice genuinely likes people, which means people usually like Alice, and she has a whole month to win the legendary woman over. 2, she's ready for this job and the chance to impress her unimpressed family with a serious publication. And 3, Hayden Anderson, who should have no reason to be concerned about losing this book, is glowering at her in a shaken to the core way that suggests he sees her as competition. But the problem is, Margaret is only giving each of them pieces of her story, pieces they can't swap to put together because of an ironclad NDA and an inconvenient yearning pulsing between them every time they're in the same room. And it's becoming abundantly clear that their story, just like the tale Margaret's spinning, could be a mystery, a tragedy, or a love ballad, depending on who's telling it. So this sounds like it's going to be a little different than her other books, and I'm excited for it. It sounds really good. Okay, next we got a few books at Half Price Books. So first, my husband got this DVD. I don't really know why he got a DVD, but he picked up Rudy. I picked up Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo because I've been hearing how good the series is, and this was there for $5.99, and it's in like perfect condition, so I picked it up. Then we picked up, well, I got Planes, Trains, and All the Feels by Livy Hart. My husband actually pointed this out to me, and he was like, "That's such a funny title. What's it about?" So then I started reading the back, and I was like, okay, we're getting it because it sounds really good. So it says, as the black sheep of the family, choreographer Cassidy Bliss vowed she'd do anything to get home in time to help with her sister's wedding and avoid family disappointment again. She just never expected anything would involve sharing the last rental car with the jerk who cut her off in line at the airport this morning. But horrible times apparently call for here goes nothing measures. So this just sounds like it's going to be really funny. And then the last book from Half Price Books, I saw this in the clearance rack for $4. So we got The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer. I read The Wishing Game this past, well, when I read that? In January, I think. And I've really enjoyed it. So I was waiting for this one to be out in paperback, but when I saw this for $4, I was like, I can't pass that up. So I have this one. And it says, as boys, best friends Jeremy Cox and Rafe Howell, guess R-A-F-E, they went missing in a vast West Virginia state forest, only to mysteriously reappear 6 months later with no explanation for where they'd gone or how they'd survived. 15 years after their miraculous homecoming, Rafe is a reclusive artist who still bears scars inside and out, but has no memory of what happened during those months. Meanwhile, Jeremy has become a famed missing persons investigator. With his uncanny abilities, he's the one person who can help vet tech Emily Wendell find her sister, who has vanished in the very same forest as Ralph and Jeremy. Jeremy alone knows the fantastical truth that while the rest of the world was searching for them, the 2 missing boys were in a magical realm filled with impossible beauty and terrible danger. He believes it is there that they will find Emily's sister. But for his own inscrutable reasons, Jeremy has kept Raph in the dark since their return. However, the time for burying secrets comes to an end as the quest for Emily's sister begins. The former Lost Boys must confront their shared past, no matter how traumatic the memories. Alongside the headstrong Emily, Raph and Jeremy must return to the enchanted world they called home for 6 months, where only they can get her back and everything and everyone they've lost. Sounds really good. And then the last 3 books that I picked up from the Little Food Library today was The Guest List by Lucy Foley. So I've been hearing really mixed reviews on this one. Some people like it, some people don't. But it says it's an inclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. The bride, the +1, the best man, the wedding planner, the bridesmaid. All have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is a murderer. So I wanted to give this a shot and see if I'm on the I like it or I don't like it side. And then I grabbed The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. And I don't know a whole lot about this, but I saw somebody talking about it one day and it almost just like immediately made me buy it. So I'm glad I didn't because I found it today for free. But it says, it's set in South Carolina in 1964. It tells the story of Lily Owens, whose life has been shaped around the blurred memory of the afternoon her mother was killed. When Lily's fierce-hearted black stand-in mother, Rosaline, insults 3 of the deepest racists in town, Lily decides to spring them both free. They escape to Turbin, I guess I say it, South Carolina, a town that holds the secret to her mother's past. Taken in by an eccentric trio of black beekeeping sisters, Lily's introduced to their mesmerizing world of bees and honey and the Black Madonna. This is a remarkable novel about divine female power, a story that women will share and pass on to their daughters for years to come. So I'm just intrigued by this one. And then the last one, I'm not going to read this one until December, but it was there, so I picked it up. But we have The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayliss. It says, when it comes to relationships, 34-year-old Kate Turner is ready to say, "Bah humbug." The sleepy town of Bluxford, England isn't exactly brimming with prospects. And anyway, Kate's found fulfillment in her career as a designer and in her delicious side job baking for her old friend Matt's neighborhood cafe. But when her best friend signs her up for a dating agency that promises to help singles find love before the holidays, 23 days until Christmas, 12 dates with 12 different men, the odds must finally be in her favor, right? Yet with each new date more disastrous than the one before, and the whole town keeping tabs on her misadventures, Kate must remind herself that sometimes love, like mistletoe, shows up where it's least expected, and maybe, just maybe, it's been right within her reach all along. So this one sounds like it's gonna be really fun to read in the month of December. So yeah, that's the haul from what I got today. So now we have to find room for them on the shelf. So let's reorganize these shelves a little bit. I think it'll be a little bit of fun, but it'll probably just stress me out, let's be honest. But we're gonna make the most of it, right? So let's reorganize these shelves a little bit. Okay, so I don't know how different the shelves are really gonna look, but I think I'm gonna move these down a shelf or two so that the bottom's not empty, but then I can decorate the top with more stuff instead of books. That way I still have empty shelves, but it's not at the bottom, it's at the top, if that makes any sense. I guess you'll see what happens when I'm finished. But like, I don't know why I have a stack of books there. They don't go there. Why are they just sitting there? So we're gonna put those away, put the new ones away, move everything down, and then I'll show you the finished product. So let's turn on a little YouTube video and get to work real quick. Okay, so quick update. So far, I just have the books sitting around the shelf that they're gonna be needing to go on. So now it's time to do the reorganization. So there's moving books around now. Okay, so I took all the books off the top 2 shelves because there was 2 empty shelves before, but now we have 6 books that don't fit. So I think I'm gonna have to move everything back up a shelf. The top shelf will still stay empty and just see what happens from there. So in case you're wondering, there is a space there because I did buy Wildside and it should be here in a few days. So that way it's got a spot. Okay, so it doesn't look very good, but that's the best I can do. And then that's what the shelves look like now. I think I did a better job. I think it looks better than before. Don't know, but that's where we're at. I am now gonna pick out a book and go read for a little bit. And you guys will come along with me. Okay, so it's actually the next day. I went to sleep after rearranging my shelf and didn't read. So I'm gonna read now because I really want to finish a book. But that's why I'm in different clothes. Anyway, so I'm going to read Spy Family Volume 2, but I don't want to tell you what that one's about, so I'm going to tell you what the first one was about. So this says, Master Spy Twilight is unparalleled when it comes to going undercover on dangerous missions for the betterment of the world. But when he receives the ultimate assignment to get married and have a kid, he may finally be in over his head. Not one to depend on others, Twilight has his work cut out for him, procuring both a wife and a child for his mission to infiltrate an elite private school. What he doesn't know is that the wife he's chosen is an assassin and the child he adopted is a telepath. So this is a pretty big series, I'm pretty sure. But I'm about to start book 2 because I really enjoyed book 1. So let's read book 2 together. I don't know how many pages, it doesn't say, but pretty short graphic novel. So let's read this together and then that will be the end of the video. So in the first one, to like complete his mission, Twilight had to adopt a child or have a child and get them into this like prestigious school. And we just like found out the results of that in the beginning of the second one. And I'm a little confused on what's going on, honestly, because so much happened all at the same time. It just like switched so fast. Like I was just like trying to reread and see if I missed something, but it was just like we were at A and then suddenly it was at B, like within a page, and there was no context, nothing. So I'm a little confused about what's going on, but we're gonna keep going. Okay, so this is a prestigious school for children, right? Why would the person that's like fitting this little girl for her school uniform be all like, oh, so your dad's not an alumni here? Oh, well, the parents that are alumni versus the first generation students, they let their kids, if they are alumni, bully the new generation students. In front of this new generation student, she says this. So now the girl's freaking out, like, I don't want to go to school. Why would I want to come here if the kids are going to bully me? Keep your damn mouth shut. It says they're like practicing their punching. And he says, what are you doing? They said, just getting ready for school, you know, because of the bullying claim. And he says, yeah, that anxiety's not going anywhere. I just feel like that's my life too. Like I'm anxious all the time. So this girl was getting bullied at orientation day and she stood up for herself, and now things are going bad because she stood up for herself because she didn't want to take the bullying. I have really mixed emotions about that because we should be teaching people to stick up for themselves. But now things are going bad because she stuck up for herself. So much is happening all at once. If this one leaves off on a cliffhanger again, I'm going to be upset, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen. He did not just say that. He said, I just needed a little extra money to meet some girls, you know? I wasn't out to hurt anyone. You are married, sir, aren't you? I was having some fun. Marriage is a whole other thing. As a man, I think you know what I mean. I think you're saying that cheating is acceptable and that that's what every man does. That's what I think you're saying. And that is not okay. Ew. The person that's pretending to be Twilight's wife and the little girl's mom, her brother just showed up and they like haven't seen each other in a while. Her brother seems like he's obsessed with her, like in a really creepy way. Anyway, I finished the book because this is just bonus now. So it did leave off kind of on a cliffhanger, like the brother showed up and then it ended. So that's interesting. So now I need to go buy the third one soon. Anyway, I finished reading the book, which makes this the end of the video. It's really sad. If there's any graphic novels or manga out there that you guys think I would like, let me know, because I do want to start reading more of them. So far, I've read Heartstopper. I've read the first Lore Olympus, and now I've read the first 2 in the Spy Family. That's all I've read. So if there's any out there that you think I would really like, let me know. If there's any books in this video that you want to see my reaction to or that you really liked and you think I'll like, let me know. And also, if there's any books in general that you guys want to see me read, let me know and I'll make a video on it. Also, my last day of classes is May 5th, and I don't go back till the end of August. So I have a few months to do a bunch of videos. So if there's anything specifically that you want to see me do, let me know, because I need video ideas. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming along with me today. I hope that you really enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.